Hello, Midlife RC followers. Sorry for the absence. It's been a while. Took a bit of a break. I've been super busy at work, sidelined quite often with a little bit of an illness. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So now that it's warmer here, I'm back into my shop, and I started to tear down and rebuild my trusty Traxxas Slash. My hands down favorite basher. It's the only basher I have, but I wouldn't want another one. So I started the rebuild. I had a spare transmission, which it's all rebuilt and put back together, put in. Had to do that because of some awful sounds from the inside that were because the bearings disintegrated. That's what's left of one of them. And it was super dry inside, etc., etc. And that's because my backyard where my track is, it's super fine sand, and it's like sandpaper in there. So started the rebuild process and put things like the new rear bumper on. And I was waiting for some other parts to come in, like new rear drive shafts. They came. The Traxxas big bore shocks, which came in. I know there's better ones, but I'm trying to do this rebuild on a bit of a budget. You know, it doesn't cost a whole lot to fix one of these when you break something. The most common things you break are shock towers, or what is this, turnbuckle, the rear turnbuckle. It's only the second one I've broken in the 3 years I've beat the snot out of this truck. So I got all that. Got some new, just regular Traxxas rims, and I'm going to use these Pitbull tires that were given to me by a friend of mine who is on my Google Plus community, Chris Herb. I've done a lot of conversing with him. He's given me a lot of tips on my trail finders. Went down and did an event they had in Connecticut, had a blast. And Chris gave me these tires because he wasn't going to use them. So these are going to go on the Slash. One of the other things I had to do was get a new body. My duct tape finally gave up. You can tape these all you want, but the bashing you give them finally gives out. So again, keeping a budget in mind, I just picked up another stock Traxxas body. I got the black Slash. I think this is off a 4-wheel drive, and I scored it on eBay pretty cheap. Actually, about $10 cheaper than a direct replacement for the one I just showed you, the one that came with it. So I was happy with that. Got the body cheap, and posting some progress on my Google Plus community, Team Integrity. One of my followers, or one of the members of the team, Jose Figueroa, reached out to me and said, "Hey, don't put that rig back together yet until you receive something I send you." I said, "Okay, I can wait." And of course I couldn't. I got all kinds of stuff back together, not knowing what he was sending me. But I don't have the shocks on. You know, it's still apart for the most part. It's not ready to drive at the moment. So while I was waiting for his package to come, I started going through my bin of parts for this. I scored about $400 worth of parts on eBay for 80 bucks once. Everything from just simple diff covers, the plastic diff covers, to chassis braces. I could almost rebuild a complete truck for 80 bucks. And I couldn't sneeze at it. I thought it was a joke at first, but 2 days after I bid on it, all the stuff came in the mail. It was great. One of the bigger things in there was a complete spare chassis for the Slash. This is the original chassis. And I was thinking about putting it on, but this chassis is not broken. So I figured I'd leave it. Maybe I'll save it for Tony CC. He's, if you haven't seen him, look him up on YouTube, ccxrc.com. His website. He's got some great bashing videos, and he breaks chassis on his Bison and odds and ends of other things. But so anyway, I didn't break a chassis yet, so I'm not going to use it. So the mail from Jose came, and I wasn't sure what to expect. He told me there was 2 things coming. They came a day apart. And I was quite surprised as to what he sent me. Just out of the blue, he told me, stop, I'm sending you something. So the first thing I opened had this note in it. It said, hey Josh, I don't like the blue chassis that came in the kit. I sent you the black one in case you, like me, prefer the black one, Jose. And what he meant by that, once I tore down into it, was he sent me a Traxxas / low center of gravity LCG chassis. This I will use, because these can roll pretty easy, high-speed turns on blacktop or grass or whatever, but this is going to get used. But I reread the note, and sure enough, he sent me 2 low center of gravity chassis. This is a blue one. Same thing, except this one's got a couple extra parts in it. It's got a new battery hold down. It's got new Nerf bars. I believe this is a front skid plate. And at first I agreed with him. I like the black one better. I started looking at the blue and I thought, well, that blue one's pretty nice too. I'm still conflicted. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. But having enough parts to build a whole nother slash, I might build another one with the 3.8 tires, a monster slash. So I'm completely blown away. Just out of the blue, he sends me 2 chassis for the low center of gravity and this thing. And we've exchanged things before. I sent him some stuff for his trail finder, and he sent me. I won a contest that he held, and I won a power plant for my Axial SCX-10-2, and sent me like some extra batteries and a voltage tender, and I was blown away. And then he goes and does this. I mean, Jose, when you watch this, thank you. This is awesome. I can't wait to start tearing this one back apart and putting everything in one of those LCG chassis. So that's where I'm at right now. In the middle of this slash rebuild. I haven't got a whole lot done on, let me see if I can do this. I haven't gotten a whole lot done yet on some of my other stuff. I finally put a lighting kit in this trail finder. This trail finder, my blue one, I've taken out all the shock mods and suspension mods, the T boxes, Z boxes, whatever you call them, and the shooters, and I went with the O-ring mod. And I'm trying to fine tune that, work it in when I get time. Right here we got my boys, my son Nathan. This is his Tamiya Unimog and his Barrage, which we're still tinkering with, trying to figure out what we're going to do for a body. Sorry about the light, it got dark over here. Hold on, turn this around. That might help. Maybe not. Yeah, so that's his Barrage. That's his Unimog. Right there. Beautiful truck. My other son Joey, he also has a Unimog, a green one. And he's got a Barrage also, which we're currently taking apart a new bright body to fit this. That's why this looks so funny sitting on there. And I've got the stretch box, which some of you have seen. Haven't done much with that. I've run it a few times. It's a trip. It's so heavy. Got to stiffen up the front a little bit because I get a lot of rub here, but it gives it an authentic look. Then I got my Blackfoot, which has done nothing. I built it. I put a battery in it to make sure everything worked, and that was it. So that's just sitting there. My Shelf Queen. I don't know. I had more fun building it than I did anything else. I've got this is the new bright body I'm working on for my son's Barrage. We cut the back off because it was a little short. And we're gonna experiment with styrene, my first project with that. The other boy got this, he wanted this body, which, it's one of those fully functional Jeep bodies. Full interior, really heavy. That's gonna take a bit more modifying than I was comfortable doing, but we'll get there. What do I got up here? Just my SCX-10 body that does nothing, not a mark on it, just sits there. Because my SCX-10 got the Jeep FC treatment. Now, a little story about that too here. Let me bring you back over here. Put you back up here. I'm not a professional filmer, guys. I don't particularly care for it. I'm not good at it. but it's nice to stay in touch. So now, put the light back over here. That. Then we got my Jeep FC. I had a lot of fun over the winter building this. Just picked up a roller on eBay and started going to town, making it something different. Everybody's got a Jeep. Everybody's got a Wrangler or a Honcho Truggy of some sort. And I wanted something a little bit different. I mean, there's plenty of these Jeep FC bodies out there, but I wanted to put my own spin on it. So got all the parts. I shortened the chassis to get it all to fit. Haven't run it yet. Put a lot of 3D printed parts on this thing. RCDM, right here, I don't know if you can see it, RCDM on eBay. He made, this is his style, this is his 3D printed front bumper. This is his 3D printed rear bumper. Bed rails, and roof rack and mirrors. Love the 3D printed parts. They're great. Really scale. And speaking of 3D printed parts, last week, another gentleman, Tim Gluth of RC Noob, reached out to me. I know he'd been tinkering with 3D printed stuff, and he said, hey, I'm sending you something. So this is in the same week I got the chassis from Jose. I said, come on. He goes, no, I'm going to send you a little something to try. So he sent me one of his 3D printed accessories. He does exhaust pipes, jerry cans, sleeping bags. He does a bunch of little things right now. And Tim, forgive me if I forget everything, but what Tim sent me was his exhaust pipe, his scale exhaust pipes. Check them out. 3D printed also. A lot of plastic on this rig, so it's not real heavy, which I know in competition will do me no good, but I don't live anywhere near where any comps get done, so I'm just having fun with it. It's held on with, I don't know if you can see, zip tie, 3 zip ties the way he designed it, so you can take it on and off or relocate it real quick. Got a screw in the back that holds the pipe on the front. He does a couple different colors, and they're all on his website. I believe it's rcnoob.com. You should check him out. He does some really great in-depth podcasts with guys from all over the hobby. And he's done a few long ones with a good buddy of mine, Rich Moores of 2RC Productions. They've done some great Tamiya talks, and just all around what got them into the hobby type talks. So, Tim, thank you. They look great. Love the way they look. Perfect fit for this rig. And I don't think I'm done getting 3D printed accessories. They're really great. I wish I had the patience to get a printer, but it's fun to just see what other people do and throw some coin their way. And a lot of it's much cheaper than getting steel bumpers or metal bumpers. I know a lot of you guys probably are in comps and you want the heavy bumpers to keep the thing on the ground. I get it. But like I said, I don't live anywhere near any comps. It's all in Canada and out in California, anywhere out here. So nowhere near me. So thought it looked pretty good. Ta-da. And that's about the state of my YouTube channel. I thank you guys that do follow me. I've gotten up to, I think, 200 and something subs now, which is great considering I haven't done anything in months. Thank you. One of my bigger videos, some of my Trail Finder stuff. Those were my favorites. I love that truck. But some of you guys hanging in there, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'll try to get doing more now that I'm feeling a little bit better and the weather's getting better. And try to do some running video with some stuff. We've reclaimed some property out back that was just all like a leaf dump and sticks and logs and just where we dumped crap for years. And now there's a bunch of paths back there, and I stopped and I started looking going, oh, this is going to be great because it's pretty much track in the woods now. I'll try to get some running video for that. My son got a GoPro and he's trying to figure out how to use it. So we'll strap it to one of these trucks and maybe do some runs in the near future. But that's it. I just wanted to touch base with everybody, say thank you again. And a shout out to Jose Figueroa and Tim Gluth of RC Noob. for the gifts. I can't say enough. I really appreciate them, guys. And if you guys haven't checked them out, look them up on YouTube or Google Plus, or I don't know if either. Tim's on Twitter. I don't know about Jose, but yeah, look them up. Show them some love, and thanks again for tuning in. Hope to talk to you again soon.